Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Spicy Ramen Podcast, live edition, featuring your favorite host, JP Too Much, J Love, and myself, Sir Shaq. Sit back, relax, and prepare to be served the spiciest podcast of the streets.
Straight out of Diamond Style Production.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. As always, we have Shaq and JP. What's going on, y'all?
What up? I'm just eating my dinner.
What's up?
You chose the chip life for dinner?
No, that's just an extra. Just a few chips. I'm eating turkey burgers.
Oh, okay.
Multi-grain bread.
See? Yeah, no, we chose Chuck E. Cheese today. That was today's dinner.
Hey, their pizza fire though.
No,
Yeah,
not here.
Oh dang! Y'all got his cousin Chester.
Yeah, we definitely got Chester. We did not get Chuck E. Cheese. Like, you know, it's bad when you go to Little Caesars and be like, yeah, no, this is definitely hitting in comparison.
Hey, Little Caesars be hitting because $5.
Yup.
It's like you can ignore the quality for the taste
Yeah,
you're getting.
yeah.
You get enough people with $1.50, you good to go.
Because Chuck E. Cheese be having like Papa John prices with like a large pizza being like $20, but be having like Little Caesars flavor.
Yeah, I haven't been to Chuck E. Cheese in a long ass time.
Yeah, no,
Either.
we got the
You went
app.
for the-
We
you went for the
go
kids?
weekly. Oh yeah, every Friday. Every
Good
Friday
parent.
now. Sometimes Sunday. Sometimes
Good
Sunday.
parents. That's what I'm saying. I know when I have a kid, I'm like, fuck you, fuck Chuck E. Cheese.
Man, Chuck E. Cheese was like once every other month, every other year.
Well, they do it different now. Like, as opposed to like Main Event and all the other places, you can pay by the hour versus paying by the individual games. So it's a game changer because it's like, oh well, I can go give her a card and just say go have fun. Like, I don't need to see you till you come back an hour later. Like, hey, I need some more time.
Okay.
That makes sense. So it's not like tokens like they used to do?
Nah, not at all. Like, you get tickets for the prizes still, but all of the like 2 tokens, 1 token, they still have it if you want to do it by the games, but it's all by time now. So if you want to do an hour, it's like $20 an hour to have your kid go play all the games unlimited for an hour.
I want you to know that this whole piece of conversation is your fault, Justin.
Hey, I am a parent. Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
It's gonna be that one person in the
it.
comment section. I thought this was about tournaments.
But getting into it, clearly y'all know what I've been doing.
Go ahead, share that comment.
See what the response is gonna be. See what the response.
Oh, we got one from Miss Natasha Walker from YouTube. Their pizza is gross. I think she's speaking to Little Caesars. I enjoy it.
I don't know.
I don't enjoy it either.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
just
enjoy
like
it
the
either.
price. Chuck E. Cheese pizza I haven't had in such a long time. I can't talk about it.
Yeah.
It's not
But
worth it. It's
like
not
Little
worth going
Caesars.
back.
5-7-year-old me cannot concur what my taste buds are now.
But getting back into things, JP, what has been your week like, or this little break? What you been doing?
Hold on.
On the spot.
Make sure my lips ain't dirty or nothing like that. But same old shit. Been training. I was in Chicago training with my brother Bilal. And then I'm in Milwaukee right now training with Gerald and getting ready for the fight that I just found out that I have April 30th. So
It's back on.
yeah, I mean, we'll see. I gotta get there first to see if it's really happening. Nothing with the promotion. They're great. It's just sometimes shit happens with fighters. So
And this one in Florida or this one in Milwaukee?
Florida.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Other than that, I participated in Ramadan just because my
Mm,
brother Bilal is participating, devout Muslim, and all that, and I just wanted to, I
experience.
guess, yeah, experience, support, see what it's like. So I'm
And
on
how
day
was it for
8.
you? How's it
First few
been?
days were annoying, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
hard, but now it's just like waiting until sunset to eat can sometimes get
Mm.
a little bothersome, but
Mm.
really it's the water. Like you're not allowed to drink or eat anything from sunrise till
Oh
sunset. Yeah,
no,
and the
I
and it
need at least
starts
water.
earlier. It goes earlier and earlier. So at first it was like the latest you could eat was like 5:15 in the morning for
Hmm.
sahur, and then it cuts back a minute earlier, and then the time you can eat goes forward a minute. So it's like at first it was like 7:05 or something, and then it's like 7:10 or something like that, and it's just like slowly going up. I don't remember where it started, maybe 7:15, but
Mm.
yeah, like today it was 7:25 is when I started eating.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
when
how
I
heavy
drank
has the
beer.
meal been at the end of the day? Like, has it been light still, or?
Um, Now when I was over with Bilal, his mom was cooking up some good food. I don't know whoever,
I seen the pictures.
yeah, whoever following me was seeing that, and it's like I was eating good, but I was also training twice a day and
Yeah.
getting it in.
Mm.
But since I'm not there anymore, not eating those good home cooked meals, like from her at least, I've I've like eaten a lot less now. 'Cause you know
Mm.
how it is sometimes. It's like, hey, yo, put that food on your plate. If you don't eat this, I'm gonna think something's wrong. You know, it sounds like something's wrong with it. So it's like you better eat
Right.
up. But now it's like, I guess it's good because I got to fight. So I'm just gonna get a lot lighter.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, appreciate the gains either way. Like, I think having that connection, just understanding your body and how not eating can affect it, or the mental toll that it may take to just align with yourself. I think it's awesome to be able to have that like ability to do that. I
Yeah,
know it's hard for me to even think like past 9 o'clock. Like, all right, I gotta have some form of water or something to just start the break. Start the break. Like, I
yeah.
can't imagine doing the whole day.
It gets difficult sometimes.
Hmm.
I mean, I've gotten pretty good at just training without drinking anything. But it's gonna suck if I was like when I go back to Florida and do it. That's gonna be hard because it's so hot. Like,
Oh
Mm.
and
yeah.
I
True.
sweat so much, I'm gonna be cramping possibly.
Yep.
So see how that goes. But
All right.
that's it. That's it for me.
How about you, Shaq? What's been up?
Um, a couple of things have been going on. Finally, after less than a year, I've been able to catch up on the One Piece anime just in time because I believe thanks to the due to the hacking situation at Toei Animation, a lot of Toei Animation animes, which includes One Piece, were on a hiatus, which gave me the opportunity to catch up on it. So I believe around this upcoming week, around between the 15th through the 18th, a lot of Toei Animation animes, which is One Piece, Dragon Quest, Adventures of Dai, Digimon,
Hmm.
and other titles will be back on rotation with their episodes continuing on their seasons. Um, Definitely glad to be caught up and everything. I know since I'm caught up now with the anime, I'll be watching that weekly. I'm gonna hop in and watch the and see the movies that all came out in time for the new upcoming one, which is One Piece Red, I believe it's called. And it's supposed to be a pretty awesome one. Toei Animation is already Toei Animation in Japan has already started releasing some new images of the Straw Hat Crew in their movie outfits. You know, the Straw Hat Crew has a new outfit per movie. You know what I'm saying? Just to add on the extra drip. This one's theme is more of a musical type one. You got some people dressed up as rock stars. I know Frankie, his chest is like a boom box with his shoulders being speakers. You got Usopp uh, dressed up like a member from Kiss rock band, and so on and so forth. So it's going to be a really interesting movie. I know they're supposed to be hinting towards Shanks in that one, and a new character designed by Oda himself. So definitely looking forward to that. I know for the hold on. I know for convention wise, this at the end of this month of April is still going to be HBCU Con over at Bowie State. Over if you're in the DMV area, or if you're down in Texas, you can go head over to Kamea Con, the Dragon Ball Z themed con that's going to be going on through the 29th through the 1st of May. That's going to be at the end of this month. So make sure you guys get that on your calendars if you're going to one of those 2 areas. If you're close by any of those 2 areas, make sure you guys check them out. And besides that, now that I'm caught up in One Piece, I can get back into watching some of the other animes I put on hold for a little bit. I'm also caught up with Jobless Reincarnation. I had like 3 episodes left on that one. So really strong first season. Hopefully the second season is going to get caught up with that. And then also the return of Rising of the Shield Hero as of April 6th. Rising of the Shield Hero season 2 is back. And let me tell you, that first episode was a doozy. They came in strong. The other 3, if you've seen our Twitter feed, we've had our opinions about the first episode. First thing being that 3 of the 4 Cardinal Heroes still ain't shit, and the bitch is still bitching. So make sure you guys check it out. I believe it's going to be coming up every Wednesday. If you're on Crunchyroll, it'll be every Wednesday during the afternoon, going into the evening time. I can't really tell you what the exact time for that one, but yeah, that is pretty much everything with me and plus anime news.
All right,
And we fully authorize the use of calling that girl a bitch. Because if you watch that show,
correction, her name is Slut.
No,
you're right.
her adventure name is Slut. Her name at home is bitch.
Yes. So
Bitch
either one
that.
shall suffice. Either one, depending on what you're referring to.
Yes.
But actually, that's a good segue into our episode. Today is going to be a bowl of tournaments. And actually, I don't know. JP, what's your first tournament before we
were supposed to segue into your updates.
Oh no, my updates was my Chuck E. Cheese. Like I felt like my life has been this.
Oh, so he
yeah. See.
So you
hey, you saw that.
Okay.
You saw that. You saw it. Say beautiful, right? Beautiful. Let's see. Give
I feel you.
just
Give that thumbs down. Give him thumbs down in the comment section.
But
Jack,
what
go
do
ahead
you
and give him the boot.
what do you think would happen if Shield Hero actually came out with a tournament?
I think it would actually be pretty dope. Like if it was I guess like a tournament for a plot of land or some money.
Mm-hmm.
The main character would actually make good use of the money. Who knows what the other characters would do for it? So I think it would actually make quite an interesting arc, especially if it was like duels or trios, like 3 people from your team against 3 people from my team, or if they just did duos, so you could see different pairings. Whereas like we know that the main character has his 2 people with him. I don't remember. I haven't watched the first season in a while, but it's the 2 girls. That's what he's got right now, right?
Raphtalia and Philo.
Philo, yeah. So it'd be interesting. It's like we've been seeing them fight with each other for a little bit. Raphtalia and the main character have been fighting since the beginning. But it'd be interesting seeing just Philo and Raphtalia by themselves against a super strong character.
Because I really feel like Raphtalia and CeeLo could be able to take down the Archer like by themselves.
Yeah, especially with the Philo with the power up or whatever she got later on.
I mean, I don't want to give the details of like what she has, but Raphtalia alone could technically just walk up to him and not have any issue.
Very true. Or we finally get to see the Shield Hero versus Slut.
Oh, that will be. That'll probably be best episode of the season right there.
And they can just go, bah!
He also has a cheat because he has ultimate imprisonment, so he can technically just imprison everyone on one team and just be like, "I'll let y'all out when y'all give up."
I don't want to see all that. I want to see them get beat up.
No, what if like the rules were like you knock him out the ring and like he's just like I'm not dealing with you. Prisons her, and then just pushes her out, pushes the prison out the ring. Like, all right, the bitch is out.
Yeah, like,
and that kind of makes me think about one of my favorite tournaments was actually Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball, I think, has some of the best tournaments. Yes. Really, Dragon Ball is the best story out of Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super. To me, at least. I think it was really actually well written. The tournaments, like Goku is actually a true martial artist. Like people forget that because he can do instant transmission, Kamehameha. When he was a kid, he was throwing hands with
With a
martial
pole.
arts, right?
Right.
Martial arts legends, at least in that world. So okay, but anyway, I think that was one of the best tournaments, especially with you get pushed out of bounds.
Yeah, because Shield Hero definitely had a tournament, but obviously with her cheating, it didn't really you didn't really get to see him at his finest. And on top of that, with all of the power ups that happened in the first season, running it back, I think would be a complete change because you now have so much character development, not only with him, but with the other three heroes. Like they ain't shit, obviously, but at least their strength can match or hold up a little bit.
Yeah, I really want to know where Shaq went. Like,
Oh, okay. He had to change the drip.
that's
Let's not talk about it. I know Justin over here talking shit. You got
I
off.
I was like, where did he go? And then I see he brought the Super Soakers out.
Trying to water down everything. All right, I see you. Bang, 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 bang.
Hey, what if he changed back into a shirt?
You go put a
I
wire
expect
down.
this from Justin, not from you, JP. I'm out here.
Hey, look. I can't only attack Justin. Every once in a while, I gotta make it look like it's even. And it's like, let me just go ahead and attack you for a second, Shaq, and then we're gonna go back on double teaming Justin. That's just how it's gotta work.
And you made your quota for the season.
I think this might be like the first or second time I attacked you.
Yeah, true.
But what about you, Shaq? How do you feel about a tournament in Rising of the Shield Hero, or at least the tournaments in Dragon Ball, or why you like tournaments?
So I know and other YouTubers have talked about tournament arcs and stuff like that as well. I know after kind of going back watching some of the classic animes and stuff like that, and how certain ones are using it, it's been over the years a big shonen trope, and a few non-shonens use them, but not as many. I definitely feel like the ones that have the build up to the tournament and then actually use the arc to showcase not only the main character or the main cast, but additional characters that are within the story as well, because we all got that one character that's not the main character and we want their chance to shine. In a few cases, the tournament arcs end up being that good cases for them to get their shine on as well. A good example, Yu Yu Hakusho, they've had about 2 amazing tournament arcs that they are well known for. First one being, of course, the Dark Tournament, which was the whole second season of Yu Yu Hakusho. It gave an opportunity for not only Yusuke and his story to develop throughout that season, but also giving a chance for development for Hiei. Also get some development for Kurama as well. Even some for Kuwabara, even though some of that was mostly for comedic effect. But he still got some development, just a little bit.
And Toguro. Toguro had I think everyone had a little bit of character development in that arc.
Yeah, and it's with the matches, when you get the before the match, during the match, and after the match, you get something that results into a change for who was ever within that conflict. Now, there's a couple because depending on how big the tournament is, you get a couple that are just a couple throwaway fights that just highlight a few things and be all right, this person won next fight, because not every conflict between teams or characters are as important. You just want to get to the main people who are part of the story. I don't remember too many animes that harp on additional characters that aren't really too important, but they kind of just show them. And if they're going to be going against the next character, it's going to show. But if not, you're going to keep it pushing. Another old school one that I really enjoyed that used tournament arcs was the old school anime Beyblade, the first series.
Okay.
I don't remember. I don't know how far they are now, because I know they still sell the toys. But the first series of Beyblade, the tournaments were crazy. They started off pretty well within local cities, and then went to the country tournaments, and then it went to the world ones, and it gradually escalated as the tournament settings went to where you see where your basic local Beybladers were versus the ones who were actually in world class tournaments and stuff like that, where you go from the people from Russia, the people from America, the people from China, and all that other stuff. And it was really cool. and definitely because like the main cast of the first series were all from these different countries. So then when they had the conflict or they had to go against their respective country and former friends and former teammates from where they were from, then you get some of that story development. I likely remember, I know the blonde-haired kid, Max, his mom was the advisor to the American team, so he had to fight against friends, and he pretty much had to go against his mom's team. You know what I'm saying? That was a whole little thing. I remember the guy, Ray, he was from China, so he had to go against the Chinese team, and there was a whole thing with that. And the same thing with the whole crazy arc with, what's his name? The edgelord. Kai, who was from, they never clarified he was from Russia, but he knew people in the Russian team, and then he had his whole little dark story that happened at one point.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a major throwback. But definitely like just tying into where the competition and how that competition is affecting not only the story but the characters that are involved in it, and which makes it really good. I know a lot of people nowadays will say that the sports festival for My Hero Academia was a good example of a new age tournament arcs, if you will, because not only did it give a chance to like, you know, let Midori get his little development with his quirk and everything, but also give additional characters their time to shine per se. Not many people from that class 1A got the shine on, but at least a few, the ones that you wanted to learn more about, you kind of learned a little more about. I think really the big focus character during that one was Todoroki, with a lot of stuff with him, and then his fight with Midori being like that main focus of where Todoroki's going to be moving forward as a character, and then Bakugo getting his little shine and all that good stuff as well. Excuse me.
Some would say that that's very telling of the times we live in. Back in the day, a tournament winner, that was it. That's the only person that mattered. Nowadays, people out here getting participation trophies, and it's like one person won, but everyone kind of won in this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
I think
it's still good.
No, I honestly, I feel indifferent because it's like I appreciate tournament arcs. I think that they definitely allow the writer to be able to explain a lot of the sub characters and the reason for the secondary characters outside of the MC. Yu Yu Hakusho being a great example of that, like how they dived into Toguro and the brothers inside that arc gave so much more definition to Master Genkai and to the whole world versus just the main four characters that we paid attention to. And it also just, I mean, I know there was a lot of enemies throughout the arc and there was a lot of teams that they went up against, but it was, I think, one of the first times I seen where it wasn't the main character was sleep half the arc, and it didn't like, yo, you go sit over here. We don't care about you. Let's actually talk about everybody else that's fighting.
That's true. I liked it.
And I think the other side to that, and why I kind of don't like arcs at times, is because people, or I'm gonna say animations, turn to where that's all they do, i.e. Dragon Ball Z. Like, they had such an amazing arc at Dragon Ball, which I appreciated, but then it was Dragon Ball Z. They wanted to do the same thing. Super is just another arc. There was no real tie-in, or to mine, I mean, I haven't seen it yet, to where it was needed for other characters to shine and to get them some form of build-up to have an entire story.
Get him.
No. What? I was actually
preach.
No, I thought JP was like, I'm gonna interject this.
No. I was gonna agree with them and say that one, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball pissed me off with that, and Dragon Ball Z did have the good tournament arc with Cell.
Yes,
but Cell, that was all character development for Gohan.
Yeah,
like that was
and they did
kind
nothing
of
with it.
Yeah, they did nothing with it. And then if you take it to Dragon Ball Super, now I haven't gotten caught up in the manga, but I read past the Tournament of Power or whatever it is. It's like they changed a lot of how shit went down. Like Gohan in the manga put in work. Master Roshi
put in work.
Yeah.
And it's like then they take it out of the show itself. So it's like now you're giving us watered down tournaments. It's like everything you do is like a tournament pretty much, but then you're giving us the watered down version of it. It's just like pure laziness. But I don't know. It's just like you said. It's like Dragon Ball Z. Just like they did good. It's like all right. That's have you seen like the TikTok or the sound where it's like okay, that's enough slices. That's enough slices. That's enough. It's enough slices. It's like that's what Dragon Ball Z is pretty much. It's just like you gave us some pizza and it was good, and then you gave it to us again. It's like all right, I can eat pizza 2 days in a row, and then you just kept on giving it to us and giving it to us, and it's like all right, bro, like stop it. You're doing too much.
I think, and I appreciate the opposite doesn't happen because I would hate for One Piece to try to make a tournament arc. Could you imagine One Piece
They did.
trying to?
So,
I mean,
I was about to bring it up.
No, I mean, like, yes, they did. Let me
But it was
make
good.
it clear. It was great. It was actually great because it tied into everything that was happening
Mhm.
outside of the city. But could you imagine Dragon Ball Z version of a tournament in One Piece? Like,
That'd be
do you know
horrible.
how many characters they would have to pull in?
I think if it doesn't tie in too much to like the main crew, like maybe like one of the crew members was involved and they added other people in, I think it would work. I think if it wasn't too Straw Hat Crew focused, yes.
I mean, because the art
But
that they
then
did,
you're changing it the whole thing because it's like the whole thing is Dragon Ball Z type tournaments in One Piece. So you got to take the whole dynamic of Dragon Ball Z tournaments and then bring it to One Piece. And it's like they wouldn't be able to do it because, no offense to Akira Tokiyama, whatever his name is,
Toriyama.
Yeah.
There we go. His storytelling ain't like crazy. Like we ain't talking about Dragon Ball Z because of storytelling. It's like, but Oda, we are
Yeah.
talking about the storytelling. So it's like even his tournament, which dear God, Dressrosa was way too long. So was Whole Cake. And the thing is like I'll say Wano's long, but Wano has been good
because there's so
every
much
step of the way.
depth in
Yeah,
one.
exactly.
Yeah,
There's so
the
much
Wano
depth.
covers so much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like Dressrosa was good. All these things explain stuff, but it's like, dear God, it was long. But we are out of the Dressrosa tournament with a reunion between some characters and seeing some
Yeah.
people develop a little bit. But
Mm-hmm.
and the
And I also
sadness of
think
it.
it's because I think it's also because that entire arc really wasn't about the Straw Hat Crew. That entire arc really wasn't about them at all. It was about
Yeah.
the town itself and the main antagonist of the town. Like all of those episodes, even with Frankie's big fight, all of it was explaining who
Frankie.
these people were
He's so
inside this
spoiled.
city.
I promise you, I didn't take that character seriously until they showed his background story. I was like, yo, what is up with this kid?
Like and I appreciate this about Oda. Like he reminds me that these people are human. Like inside the story, they have value, and they're just not these one-off people that you can throw away later on, like how a lot of these arcs do. I think.
So hear me out. I just had a brain blast, right? So say like they do a tournament arc, another one in One Piece, right? But like it's not with the pirates, but it's within the Marines, right? Like they hold like a little tournament with like new recruits, or something like that. And, like the winner gets a promotion to like captain or to be a vice admiral, some shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
I think it would be perfect because it would explain. Honestly, if they did the next past Wano and what's happening in Wano right now, if they were to just completely pause Wano and go into a Marine arc and explain who's all about to be in this war that's coming up, that would be a mean arc.
And then with like stuff that's going on with like Fujitora and Kaino and stuff like that, it would kind of like start a story between like who's on what side within the Marines, which might end up turning into like a civil war within the Marine faction as well. Like who's with Vice Admiral Fujitora and his whole little I'm trying to rearrange the Marines because y'all fucking up type stuff versus a Kainu who's just like I'm trying to do my job what the world government's telling me and keep it pushing because I know they hit an organization in within One Piece during the Wano arc, which I'm not going to give away because I kind of learned more about it recently. But they talk about that organization and who's a part of it. And then I think with that type of tournament within One Piece, within the Marines, we're kind of going to like who's in the faction of this organization versus who's in the faction who's under this particular person. Because then like they're going to start getting into the weeds of who's the corrupted Marine, like we first saw in the first couple seasons of One Piece about like these Marines who kind of take their titles or take their rank in advance to the people, stuff like that, versus the ones like Kobe who are trying to do the right thing and trying to actually be for the people and try to save folks and stuff like that. So I feel like we'll get more in depth on that conflict between folks. You know what I'm saying? And then,
of course,
yes, they. Well, I don't know how far. Hold on, let me go back and backtrack. We do have a comment from Twitch saying, "Do you agree with pirates and Marines being friends?" Yes. Once I don't, and we don't know how Mr. Sukin 509. We don't know how far you are in One Piece, but once you get into more in the depth background stories of later past pirates, you will see that certain pirates and certain Marines have that relationship with each other when they have common ground with certain situations. So they definitely, you'll definitely see it. It definitely does exist. I'm for it. You know what I'm saying? So he says I'm in the sky. So you're still in the sky PR. Okay, yeah, you got long.
Yeah, you got
you got long. And listen, from somebody who just caught up, I'm telling y'all, it can take you less than a year to catch up to One Piece. I have done it. It's fact. It's truth.
And I think the biggest reason why we agree so much with pirates and Marines being friends is because there is so much realism to police working with those gangsters or those thugs or those mean people in society, because a lot of times they are the people that actually bring the structure to those societies. And you see it with Big Mom, you see it with Whitebeard. There was a lot of islands that Whitebeard came, kicked out all the thugs, and was like, all right, this is my land. I'll see y'all later, y'all my grandkids. And the Marines was like, well, we ain't got to go there because we know they straight. Like,
it was also, we ain't gonna go there because he gonna beat our ass.
Right?
Exactly.
We are not mess. We don't want to smoke with none of that.
Because the whole point of the emperors was because they could balance out the Marines.
Yeah,
and that's where it's like, you know who I think is actually the best, I guess, example of what you were just talking about. I jumped in late, so tell me if I'm wrong. But Fujitora or whatever his name is, the blind,
Fujitora.
Yep,
the blind captain or admiral, whatever he is, from the Marines. He was like, he's able to call out the bullshit on both ends.
Yeah,
I can't spoil nothing, but he was like, "Hey, look, my honor and my justice said that these people were right here, but my honor and my justice will also say that not them specifically, but them like pirates, like the ones that they were just fighting, are what's wrong with the system. And then what y'all be doing on the other end, thinking that you're above all types of justice because you're a Marine, you got me fucked up too."
Exactly.
I respect him.
Nail on the
head. Excuse me. And I know.
No,
go ahead. My bad. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, go, Justin. Go. You never get Shaq to be this nice to you, so just go ahead.
Everybody gets one.
Well, no. What I was thinking is, I don't know if this is you know how I go off and venture into my other animes, but have y'all ever seen The Blockade?
All right, you know what, Shaq? We're gonna take this one. He done mentioned something that we don't know anything about right now.
I mean, he asked for it, so I was gonna leave it alone.
See, try to add some sauce, try to add some culture, and look what happened.
always trying to add. You know what? Why don't we talk about this anime?
Well, because there's so many animes that speak to what we're talking about, especially with not having tournaments and needing them. I think Blood Blockade or Battlefront. Is it Blood Blockade Battlefront? Is that the name of it? Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's in one where even though they were fighting people every week, if they actually had a tournament within themselves, it would be an amazing arc to actually explain kind of their backstory without having to go into detail.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a lot of animes like that that miss those things, like Black Clover. I think Black Clover, they have these battles all the time, but if they were to
They
have a
kind of did
arc,
have. They did have one.
yeah, I know that's what I'm saying. Like if they were to have like the diamond community actually come in and have a tournament, kind of like how
Oh,
Naruto
so
did.
we're talking about like within the kingdoms.
Yes, yes,
Mm.
it would give a better explanation of the hatred and the reason behind their fighting.
Okay. Oh, so another an anime throwback that kind of covers that with conflict within other nations. Mobile Fighter G Gundam.
Yes, yes, that's exactly what I'm reaching
Definitely
at.
that.
Yes.
Now that one is a for those who are not Gundam heads. Mobile Fighter G Gundam is a individual Gundam series which talks about the each nation has a Gundam and a Gundam pilot, and every couple of years, I think like maybe 50 or 10 years, something like that. Someone quote me on that one. That each nation has a Gundam fighter representative, and they duke it out. Each nation Gundam pilot dukes it out for the control of Earth's resources. Majority of Earth's population are in space colonies outside of Earth, and pretty much the planet at this point now is a battlefield. Those who cannot afford to live in the space colonies still stay on Earth, so they have to live in certain areas that are outside of these designated battle areas for the Gundam pilots. And pretty much each nation has their pilot, has their fighter. They have tournaments within their own nation to designate their country representative, and then that country representative fights other countries for control of Earth's resources. And it's a rotational thing, so that way each nation has an opportunity to utilize Earth's resources to help their nation and help other nations who they can be working alongside of. And you have certain people you have certain fighters who are like, I'm trying to do this to better my nation because we're in poverty type shit. You have a few characters that are like, I'm doing this because I want to be famous, I want to be rich type stuff. And then you get the actual plot of the main character who is Japan's representative. He has a little deeper story with him as well. It's a really classic anime. Something that used to come out back into the Tanami area. It was right after the Gundam Wing series was over. Mobile Fighter G Gundam was the next Gundam series that came out right after Gundam Wing. I do recommend, like I said, the whole series. I think it's about 25, 26 episodes. It's pretty straightforward. No additional extra shit. It gets right clean cut to it. Definitely a good tournament-based series. I know a lot of animes have tournament arc, but this one is one of those rare tournament series where like the whole point of it is seeing the progress of a character throughout this tournament. So that one's definitely a classic.
You see, there's so many Gundams, and I remember watching like some of them on Toonami, but I only remember Gundam Wing, Mobile Suit Gundam Wing, with like Hito, Troy, Fei Long, or something like that.
Now there's like different
kinds.
Lot. I always tell people, like, just because you don't like one Gundam series doesn't mean you like another one, because so many of them are different. We got another comment from Twitch. So far, I only know about Build Divers in the Gundam series. That's an earlier one that pretty much talks about Gunpla, which is the Gundam models. That's a Gundam model series. There's like there's like 3 seasons in total for that one, with a prelude series as well. I can do a whole episode about Gundam, but that's besides the point. That one also has a tournament, I believe in as well. We got also responded saying I might expend and watch the other ones because I love the experience that I had. Yes, if you like the earlier Gundam series that you see now, I do recommend Gundam Info on YouTube. Gundam has their own YouTube channel that has a large list of their most popular Gundam series, and they have the whole thing from start to finish in any language. English, Spanish, German, French, Portuguese. Like, they have all of it. So I highly recommend Gundam Info if you want to watch other Gundam series. Like I said, they have their most popular and up-to-date series on there, which Mobile Fighter G Gundam is on their playlist in English or in Japanese, whichever one we watch. They all have subtitles.
Well, and I appreciate that even with Gundam, they made it clear that this was the approach. Like, one thing I hated, even with Seven Deadly Sins, like they would do a tournament.
That was a bunch of drunk niggas in a scuffle. I couldn't even call that a tournament.
But it wasn't like an explanation of anything. Like it was like, yeah, like we just gonna do this, but
I still
all right,
never
the drunk
watched Seven
folks,
Deadly
we're gonna get
Sins.
together and have a fight for this giant ass hammer. Get into the fucking ring.
yeah, like. But one actual tournament that I think I wish there were more people alive for this inside their storyline that they're not now. So, you know, we can, and again, I'm not going to go into details to who these people are, but Vinland Saga, if Vinland Saga was able to have a tournament, I think that tournament would be nasty. If they had everybody, like if they could bring back people for just this one weekend and have these conversations off camera, like off the tournament beat, like father son, godfather son father godfather conversations, I would appreciate
I
I would not.
disagree.
it.
And now, while I do think it would be cool to see some characters from the previous times fight other characters, it wouldn't fit into the story that well.
Oh yeah, no, not at all, not at all.
And two, I'm kind of tired of tournaments anyway. It's like I feel like so many anime take the tournament route to explain stuff because I feel like they have to try to keep the main characters within the story as well. Whereas like for example, a really good tournament was Black Clovers. That explains stuff, but not a lot of shows like in the past. I think we're seeing it more now. They're doing better, but in the past, if you wanted to explain like a side character story, like people would probably just like stop watching. They're like, this is boring. It's like I need to see the main character or some of the main people in order for this to be interesting. Nowadays, like Naruto did horribly with all the other side characters. Well, Naruto after the Chunin exams. Chunin exams, or it was great.
Exam was dope.
That was great, like in terms of like top tier tournament. And then after that, they built up those characters and then just dropped them.
Now, do you feel as though there is because of like laziness or just wanting to get to the main plot? Because I think there's a lot of tournaments that do that, where it's like they skip over a lot just so you can know a move or know a person knows something and get right back to the storyline.
I think in Naruto's case, it was laziness, wanting to get to the story or go wherever they were trying to go, and also deadlines. Because from what I've heard about like shonen, the top shonen comics and all that, they put them on a deadline and it's stressful. So I feel like sometimes, so it's like I don't want to just sound like I'm shitting on it on the whole thing, because it's like I'm not a manga artist, but I can at least say that probably it has to do with a little bit of all of it. It's like we got to fit a lot of shit into this little bit of space. Tournament. What were you gonna say, Shaq?
Shit, I almost forgot. But I know they tried to. I know in Boruto they tried to do a similar kind of thing with cause I know at one point once the main conflict with fuck it, I forgot. Once one of the main plot points had happened, they kept the story going and they included tuning exams to like, okay, we got to get back to them doing ninja stuff. And like and it kind of started off looking like, okay, they're kind of going to be using the similar concept of the training exams like they did before in original Naruto. They started explaining side characters that were really never really relevant. They were relevant in filler arcs, and now they're kind of like fitting them in this arc with the training exams. And it's kind of like, I feel like you're just kind of tying a lot of people in for no reason. It started off strong, but it didn't like it started off strong with ending up with a ending and then giving us some conflicts that we wanted to see, but we didn't get to see.
Because to me, I feel like they had the blueprint back in the 90s. Like, Yu Yu Hakusho showed you how the main character can be sleep, say 1 or 2 lines per episode and be tied to the entire arc and not have to be the actual person fighting nor doing anything and still contributing, and you get all the background of all the side characters.
Yeah. And
You know, what show does that perfect though? One Piece.
I mean, it. Yeah,
One Piece. I've got to say, Yu Yu Hakusho was good because they showed that Yusuke isn't the only one that can hold it down. Yusuke
Yes.
ain't the only one that can fight. It's like Kuwabara was like the comic relief, but he was strong. To the
no, yeah,
point
he was
where
able to get,
they
get,
need-
it down, get it done.
he was strong enough. You know, you're strong enough to where the villain's like, I'm going to use you for something.
Yeah.
So like, I
it's
know
like-
your worth. I know your
Yeah,
worth. Let me go
exactly.
use that.
Yeah.
But One Piece was one of the first anime where it was obviously Luffy is like the captain. They have him like
Mhm.
that for a reason. But the monster trio and everybody else, it's like no matter what, you know that, and it doesn't seem like ass pulls all the time. It's like they are going to hold their own. It's like
Yeah.
Luffy needs them just as much as they need Luffy. And it shows all the time because it's like Luffy's like, yo, I gotta take this guy out, but y'all gotta take out all these other people.
And I think it starts with Arlong Park. Like he said it. He was like, look, I ain't a liar. I don't know anything about travel. I cannot cook. I don't know how to sing, but I got a whole crew that do this professionally. And then there's a lot of times like, and I know I can't go forward and speak on like current events, but there's a lot of times where Luffy will literally say, oh, my crew is there. I don't need to worry about that. I need to focus on you.
Yep.
Yeah,
he,
definitely.
he believes in his crew, and that's where it's like that's one of the few anime where you know everybody. Yes, some people do get more screen time than others, but everyone has had their chance to shine or do something important. And that's like Usopp and Dressrosa. Because had it not been for Usopp and his slingshot at one part,
Yeah.
everything would have been done.
Period.
Would all been done. So it's
All
like,
hail Usopp the God. To him, everything is possible.
bruh. So it's just like if they had like a different style, like type of tournament, almost like was it the Davy Beck game? Is that what they call it?
Mhm.
The pirate game. That was fun, but if they added like even if they made it like a special or OVA or something, just a
Mhm.
tournament arc, them versus Eustace Kids. I mean, I don't even know where his like crew is. I just know it's him and Killer.
I mean, they there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
They got-
Or the Heart Pirates is like all.
Yeah,
for all we
yeah.
know is that it's just that panda. But who knows? It's like
that
you
panda
can't
is a
become a
spotlight. Well, no, polar bear. Excuse me.
Yeah.
well. Actually, he's just a mink.
Well, he's a polar bear mink.
Is
Bear
is
mink.
that what they said it was? Because I want to like classify them wrong.
Yeah,
god
he's a mink. They say he's a bear mink, and then he's obviously a polar bear mink because he mentions about like heat, how heat bothers him so much, and how he prefers the cold.
By the way, when you guys brought up God Usopp, I just wanted to bring this picture for when he saw his bounty. And
I know we
God
got
High
a
School-
comment. We got a comment from the audience, Mr. Tyler Walls. Has anyone brought up the God of High School tournament? We were going to save that for a little bit later when we go into more of almost like complaint areas, but
Yes.
this one was definitely gonna get brought up because there's a lot
What
of
up,
questions.
Jones?
You know what I think about God of High School and the main character? He reminds me of a Yuji knockoff. I look at him, I'm just like, when I mean, God of High School came out first and then JuJutsu Kaisen, I think, or maybe the same time.
Yes.
I don't know, but I
Yeah.
feel like it was first. And when I was watching, I was like, all right, like, you know, random kid, somehow stupid, strong, all the, you know, they always have that trope. But then it's like I look at Yuji as like the cooler version of what he is.
They tried to do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
And-
for me, especially with
wait, did he
how
have a grandpa in the hospital too?
yes, yeah.
well, no,
yeah.
his grandfather.
grandpa was a
hospital.
G.
His grandfather,
Oh,
fucking gangster.
I remember.
His grandfather was
His grandpa
gone. He
was
was
a
like,
G,
"Hey,
yeah.
live here for a while. I got other shit to do."
Yeah, I remember. Okay,
He was
yeah.
changing the world. He was changing the world.
All these strong ass niggas raised by their grandpa.
Right.
And I mean, and for God of High School specifically, I feel like they really dropped the ball on transition.
Yes.
Because that
They
bitch just
definitely-
ended.
And I was
No.
like, wait,
The
like
last 3 episodes made no
what?
sense.
I had to
not three,
rewatch
last
it.
2.
Okay, so I'm glad that I'm not there. I was like, I had to rewatch it and be like, yo, did I miss an episode? Like, did I skip
Yeah.
this shit somewhere?
Like it started off really cool. Like, okay, I get it. We get the main 3 characters. We get the concept behind God of High School and what they're doing. We get the secret stuff in the background. And then I think like towards like the last few episodes, one of the villains has this transformation or whatever happened. We're like, okay, hold up. The fuck is this? Then like 5 seconds later, the fuck is that? 10 seconds later, the fuck are those? 5 seconds later, the fuck is this?
The world is ending. Like what so this isn't about high school. Like what
Right?
to me, we did not see one goddamn classroom and it is called the God of High School.
Well, I think it was because a majority of the participants are high school students.
Yeah,
minus the one guy from prison.
We get that, but still, they ain't show the classroom once.
Nah. The
Not one
classroom was
principal, not
with,
one
Ray.
like because I mean, I get it. Like sports animes, I think do it the best. Haiku
Of
being the top tier, period. But it's like your name is the God of High School, and y'all just said forget the high school part. It's all about the gods. Like,
Or pretty much saying God's in high school. Like they might.
yeah,
the God
the God in high school, gods in high school. That's what it could have been.
That would have made more sense.
Because it just didn't make like any sense. Like, how is a 16-year-old kid all of a sudden tapping into the literally god of the monkey, like, and is able to have the fox as his best friend? Like,
Right. We
I
got
mean,
the 9-tailed spirit. We got the spirit of Sun Wukong coming out of nowhere. We got this one guy who summons ancient Chinese, ancient Vietnamese weapons.
They ain't
All of a
really
sudden, a
explain.
nuke
It's
showed
like,
up.
how the fuck you got that? Where did you get that?
And then to make it worse, you're gonna have this girl have one of the strongest, best swords in the world.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden
Well,
just be like, give her Sakura treatment. Like, what is going on here? Like,
listen, she had a dope episode when she unlocked her abilities. She had a dope episode until after that.
Bro, I think anime hate women.
yes.
It's like
Yes.
they just don't be wanting to lift and shine it. And every once in a while they'll let someone show through, like Nobuta. I forgot what her first name is, but she's nasty off of JuJutsu Kaisen. She shows her worth. Actually, Zenin, all the women in that show, they be beasts. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them.
I will say, I'm going to make one quick correction before I say the next statement. That a lot of the female leads in Fairy Tail get a good amount of shine, in-depth storyline.
So about this fairy tale.
Anyway, you can't mute my mic. Anyway, a lot of the women in Fairy Tail, especially the ones that's actually in the Fairy Tail guild, actually get some pretty good story and get some awesome fights. One of my favorites is Urza Scarlet. She's someone who gets a very in-depth background about where she comes from, how she found out about her abilities, and then like when push comes to shove, when it's the main characters that can't get it done, she shows up and fucking wrecks shop easy. Like she is. I think it's only been one instant throughout the whole series where she was a damsel in distress, and that was due to like PTSD because she was raised a slave type situation. But then after that, she was wrecking shop. Like if someone showed up saying like I'm the top mage of this guild, she showed up saying like I'm Queen Bee bitch in here. What's up?
Facts.
She was like, "Oh, main character can't do this, bitch. Sit down. I got this."
I think the only anime that gave all of the strength to the women and women only, like there was no male savior, was Claymore.
Yeah, definitely.
I haven't watched that one.
Because there's nothing else like that. Like they came out with a new witch one, which is pretty good. I forgot the name. I can get the name for you in a second. Where they're following a life story of a head witch who starts off as inside of school because they need school. They actually need to learn what they're doing. and then they grow gradually into it. Bafori, or the I maxed out my defense. That's another one where the MC is actually good, which if they have kind of quote unquote tournaments, more like quests inside the storyline, that I think would be dope, but they have more like team events or like competitions, so much as tournaments to give their new character unleashings. But yeah, I don't think there's a lot anything of women characters getting highlights. I think the worst anime to ever highlight women, and I'm gonna stand on this, is Fruit Baskets.
Don't watch that one. So I really
Don't watch this, so I have no opinion on it. Let us know in the comment
And
section.
yeah, y'all can let us know in the comment section, but I think Fruit Baskets is by far the worst at trying to uplift a woman.
Ooh. I just had a brain blast. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you another anime that has a good highlight of women characters. Also has a very amazing concept to a tournament. It's a tournament, but a unique one in its own. Is the Fate series.
Okay, yeah.
Damn you.
Damn, yeah.
I was gonna bring that up. The
Damn.
Holy Grail,
And also,
Holy Grail Wars.
The Holy Grail War.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, that one is probably like the most outrageous tournament art concept to me. Because like so much is at stake, so many things can go left or right. And that's just talking about Fate Zero, Fate Stay Night, Fate Apocrypha, any Fate series. Only a few of them are tied together because that whole storyline is chaotic as fuck. But the whole Holy Grail War concept is very good. I do believe that it does tie in to all the characters and with their servants and how they're tying in as well, and then showing like the servants' intentions of being a part of it as well. Because I believe when the Holy Grail brings that spirit into the competition, it kind of like they kind of explain like why I'm here in the first place. Because not like I'm just here because the Holy Grail summoned me or you summoned me. It's like I here because I want the Holy Grail for this reason. And then the woman lead for the majority of this series, which is also a waifu favorite for a lot of people, King Arthur, or AKA Saber.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you're confused from that statement, that's the Fate series, ladies and gentlemen.
12 inches. 12 inches. That's all you need to know. Might be 14, might be 6.
Can we not take that out of context, please? Please.
I'm talking about her shaft. I mean her sword.
Sir, that's the kind of shit that gets us canceled and gets us removed from YouTube, Taylor, right now.
Hey, man.
We get a restriction on this episode because of you.
We got the parental advisory, all right?
Hold on, where is this? I can pop it up. Just let's make sure. You two say we never showed it.
But yeah, I definitely agree. I think Blades Unlimited is the best. But yeah, I definitely
Unlimited
think...
Blade Works?
Yes.
I need to catch up.
But I think another, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but Yu-Gi-Oh is another one
I
that
was gonna bring that one up too.
definitely they do it, and every battle is a good conversation of who that person is. I just feel like they focus too much on being on that throughout the week every morning cartoon. Like if they were to actually do more in depth and like make a real storyline on it and like try to expand the world.
So with that depends on which series you're talking about, because I would say and I'm not up to date on all of them, which by the way, they've announced that there's another new series for Yu-Gi-Oh coming out. I forget which number. I think this is number 6. So there's a 6th series coming out for Yu-Gi-Oh. Haven't seen the 5th one either. But some of the more newer ones versus the first one, Yu-Gi-Oh, that debuted. There's been a lot more tournament arcs. I think at this point now, having a tournament arc in Yu-Gi-Oh is pretty much mandatory because it's in all of them. But over the years, they have gradually like used that tournament arc concept for Yu-Gi-Oh and use it as the concept to explain more characters, to show where the stakes are within, and showing that tournament has a purpose within that particular season. I know with the secondary series, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, being that more of a academic at a university for dueling concept. They use that to one, see where certain students are based off of how they are in the tournament. Give some students an opportunity to shine, because the concept of the dual academy, if you will, was if you came from that school, you can go into the pro leagues of dueling, if you will, and be recognized as a very skillful duelist and all that good stuff. So it was an opportunity to like learn more about Yu-Gi-Oh, how to build yourself up as a duelist, and then you actually go into the pro leagues and go against actual professional duelists from the nation and the world. And they had like, I believe, 2 different tournaments within that series. I know the next one after that, the third one, 5Ds, had one as well. That one was a citywide one, because they had one where it was like the people of New Domino City, and then you had the people who were in the slums, aka the ghetto, called a Satellite City, and they had opportunity like, yo, no matter where you from, pretty much they took the concept of Megalobox and put it in Yu-Gi-Oh. That's what that was.
Okay.
No matter where
that
you
was another
from,
tournament too. That was
you
another
showed
good
up.
one.
You do, yeah. And I still have to see season 2. I still have to see Nomad, because I heard that one was fire. I still have to watch Nomad.
Definitely 8 out of 10. I mean, I didn't appreciate how they got to the storyline, but definitely out of 10.
Most definitely.
And honestly, I think I don't know. I mean, where My Hero is right now, if they did a tournament again, oh my god, oh my god.
Ain't gonna be
You said which one
tournament.
again?
There's just gonna be PTSD.
MHA. If My Hero did a tournament today, they would need to have all the professional heroes join in, because I don't think any individual hero, I'm only going to say hero, focus on the hero piece. I don't think there's a hero that is banging with Midoriya.
Okay.
I'm not
counting the manga, so.
I don't think
know.
there's,
because
he got too many things in his bag.
We still haven't seen the full extent and how he can use his power. We've seen a little bit when he was like tired and people were trying to get him to change his mind. And
you see how you gotta explain that?
Yeah. Like, because he was tearing them niggas
too much
up.
sauce. Too much sauce. Too much sauce.
He was tearing them niggas up.
Too much sauce. You got to bring a whole crew just when he tired and upset.
Right. My man was tired, depressed, fatigued, worn down, and they still couldn't touch this man.
Just giving him work. Like he was debating during that, like, yo, should I just escape or should I really, like, I don't want to hurt these people.
But you guys will see.
Yeah.
I think one good thing that I do like about tournament arcs, I mean, it's an anime all in general, but when they show like someone having the inner dialogue with themselves, it's like, damn, this person beating my ass. It's like, it's like, what am I about to do? It's like, am I going to quit? And you know, they sometimes give like the vision where it's like you looking at the person and it's like kind of fuzzy. Yeah. Dead ass, that is what it's like sometimes when you're in the fight. It's like, it may not be as drawn out and dramatic, but it's like sometimes you get hit with some shit and you're like, damn. It's like you're trying to play it cool. You sitting there, all right, bro, and like, relax. You hearing people out here screaming, yelling. It's like they do a good job of explaining what it can be like when you get in your ass whooped and you start questioning yourself for a little bit. Anime always makes it like 5 minutes long. Yeah. In the real fight, you got like 10 seconds. 10 seconds, yeah. 5-10 seconds.
Are you
it's like, yeah. So that's one of the things that I like. It's I feel like, you know what I found out actually? A lot of niggas, like, people don't have inner like dialogue with themselves. Like, they don't actually like talk to themselves. And that's something that you see in anime all the time. Yeah. Like, you're always seeing someone having like
inner monologue.
Inner monologue, self-reflection, like hyping themselves up. Mm-hmm. But in a lot of American shows, you don't be seeing that. Like, they just be talking out loud. Like, they're not having the inner dialogue. And I was always like, I've always talked to myself, but it's like majority of the shows that I watched, people talk to themselves. Yeah, you gotta be like, hey, come on, dog. It's like you getting your ass whooped, dog. It's like you either gonna stand up or you're gonna just take this one sitting down.
Mm-hmm.
But that's one thing I like.
But I mean, and I don't know if this is even considered, and it's good one to have a conversation on a wrap up is, do you think if Dr. Stone actually had a real tournament? And I know
Bruh.
I know all the fill in blanks of the reasoning, but if they had a real tournament, how do you think it would go?
The top nigga, the nigga that had to get turned into stone is gonna dominate.
I mean, technically,
But
yes.
there has been shown that there's other strong people
Yes.
in that world. That's one thing. Reading the manga, it's not just him. Like, he is overall the strongest.
He's disrespectful.
Yeah, but everyone else, like other people, like top fighters from other leagues have something, like other areas have something. So
we got a comment from Twitter saying that a Dr. Stone tournament would be a science fair.
I think it said Twitter. It's Twitch.
Twitch, my bad. Shit.
But it really would be a science fair.
It really would
Watch,
be.
give Dr. Stone some time. What's his real name?
Good question.
Dr. Stone today.
Dr. Stone today. Give me the line. Just
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Anyway.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
He would create Senku. That's what it is.
yeah.
There you go.
He would create some fucking exoskeleton. There you go. That shit fucked me up for a second. He would create that out of like some, I don't know, some sheet metal or some type of shit.
Yep.
And then have some mushrooms or something as the shock absorbers.
Yeah.
He'd be just
something crazy. Something crazy.
Yeah.
Have coconuts as brass knuckles or something.
True. I know one anime series. To make sure we don't forget too many. I know one series that does do the tournament arc trope, but the main character just doesn't reach the result that we want him to get until
Pokemon?
fucking later on.
The original.
Yes. I will say over the years, it's like they give you the build up, they give you this entire journey, especially for the first one, just for him to come in 16th place. Not even top 10, not even top 5, not even top 3, 16th place. Like, that is a participation handshake, not even a ribbon. That's just a thank you for coming.
It's also like 8, so it's kind of like.
I mean, granted, yes, like the winner for most of those tournament, the leagues that he does over the years were like grown ass men and women that win, which makes sense. It was good, and he doesn't win till like Pokemon Sun and Moon, which is the Alola region. We're like, hey, we decided we're finally going to do a Pokemon League tournament because we just never fucking done one. And then Ash just wins it because it's just random people that participate in it.
Because they don't feel like they have to, or it's good enough for them.
Yeah, because the Alola region never was like, we never had a reason to do a Pokemon League at all.
So,
the
tester.
Comment, because most recent comment, I'm wondering what they mean by that. Or do you guys get what they're saying?
Because I mean, in the manga speaks for itself too.
Real quick, I know it's saying we got a comment from Twitch saying that Dr. Stone is probably 2 seasons from being another Gundam show.
And I kind of understand it because Senku's goal is to reach the moon. That is his goal. That is his being, but he has a lot of conflict on Earth that he has to settle before he can reach his goal. So kind of like what JP was talking about with the exoskeleton in the manga, and a lot of the conversations that is being had is how to build these suits or build a craft to get them back to the moon. And I mean, yeah, I could see.
Don't give away too much.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to detail.
I mean, because you kind of already did, but.
Well, because all I did was talk about how they're trying to like build stuff to get them to the
moon, and that is literally one of the things that we weren't supposed to talk about.
I mean, yeah, okay, like
someone when we watched like half of the first season, I didn't know that was a spoiler, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's nothing right now in the anime that I really think speaks to what I'm talking about.
Nothing right now, no.
So I could see what he's talking about for the manga, but not for the anime at all. Like I don't see it at all yet. Yet. Um but yeah, is there any other animes that we need to definitely harp on now in referencing tournaments and good or bad or in between?
Hunter x Hunter, you got to mention that one.
Oh yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
They
definitely,
they had a
definitely
really
go.
good tournament and a cool idea as well,
Mhm.
and that's when we got the introduction of Nen.
Yes,
So that one is going to be high up there no matter what.
true.
It's Heaven's Arena. And that just sounds cool, honestly.
Yeah, but I think the knock on Hunter x Hunter for me personally was kind of like what we talked about with Dragon Ball Z and Super. Like a lot of those side characters never made it past the arc.
True.
Like we didn't
Well,
talk about them again. We didn't really bring them up. Like those enemies were just like gone in the wind as if they were never there.
but those characters, as far as Hunter x Hunter wise, were just utilized to show how the different types of nen is used because as Gon and Killua were learning about their nen abilities, they were fighting against people who had diverse different nen abilities or people who use more than one type of nen ability to kind of give you the scope of like, all right, now that we explain nen to you as an audience, this is how nen can work from people who know how to use it over the years. So that's why like some of the people they fought, and I know the fight between Hisoka and the one silver haired guy, I forget his name, but
Hmm.
like they showing that like there's a diverse arrangement of how to utilize Nen and showing, especially with that fight, how like there are drawbacks when you're using a natural Nen ability of yourself versus a non-natural ability that's kind of counteractive to your own and stuff like that. So like it's not more so that like they kind of threw them away into the for the sake of that arc, but they were utilized to kind of give you a better understanding of how Nen is in this world before they push forward. Because that arc right after it, they just get straight into Nen abilities. So it's like if you ain't pay attention last season, you're fucking confused about some of these guys' abilities and how they work and how it's capable.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what I'm speaking to. Like I appreciate that they were able to do such a detailed explanation. I just didn't appreciate how like I get it. They had to bring in new characters. I appreciated the new characters that they brought in. One of my favorite characters came from it, especially in the Chimera arc. But a lot of those fighters, even the cook inside of the first arc, going to that island after it being discovered or having that conversation and seeing a lot of those people come back and fight those, even if they didn't do the main part of the battle, but if they were to bring back some of those characters, they did for the family of assassins, but they
Mm-hmm.
didn't do it for the people that we actually paid attention to. Like I wish they had tied them in more, if that makes any sense.
I got you. We got one question from the audience, Sukin509 from via Twitch. Is there a tournament arc in in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? I believe there is not one at all.
Mm-mm.
From what I can remember, because I've watched, yeah, I've watched. I'm up to date with most of them. I just haven't seen the newest one. But there is not a tournament arc in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
And
It's just
that would
a
be a
bizarre
crazy one
adventure.
too.
Yo, what if it was? No, wait. What if it was like a random like movie wise? It wouldn't be like actually an arc within the within any of the series, but like it would just be like a battle of JoJo's, just like each JoJo from each series. But then like you got the one who would probably be at a disadvantage versus the rest of them. But still, but at the
Even
same
if
time,
one has just a
I can't
cheat.
see. Yeah, but at the same time, I couldn't see JoJo's doing a tournament arc because like it's not their style.
No.
If they
No.
do one, it would be like a weird battle of stands the whole entire
Yeah.
time. Which, by the
Mhm.
way, there is a JoJo Bizarre Adventure fighting game coming out. Is a updated version of a recent one that came out. I have to have the official title in our next episode. But there is a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure game that's going to have over 50 characters. Apparently, this is going to be a very large roster of all the JoJos from the first one to part one all the way to part 6, if I believe. But that's going to be a
And
large game. I'll give y'all.
I
the full
honestly
on that
thought
later.
that was what Bleach was going to do when they did their Zanpakuto arc. I was like, oh, so we just gonna show them all and just gonna be one big ass tournament to give some in depth on who all of these Zanpakutos are and their abilities.
I
Which
mean,
arc
I
was
don't
this
think.
one? What was
Hmm,
that? The Zanpakuto arc. What was that one?
Where
that
their Zanpakuto manifested to where everyone can see their Zanpakutos.
they have physical bodies and
Yeah,
everything.
it was
Damn,
like
'cause
right
I
before.
remember it.
It's
But
like right
It's
before the final arc.
yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was. It was like literally like one of the last filler arcs before the ending.
oh, it was a filler arc.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, it was a
it
filler.
wasn't
It
tied to
was
the
Damn.
ending.
actually one of the more enjoyable filler arcs for me. Like if I could recommend any filler arc out of Bleach, I would say skip everything except the Zanpakuto arc. Cause that one
Yeah.
was really cool. You got a little more dynamic with the characters and their actual Zanpakutos and stuff like that.
The Zanpakuto Rebellion.
Yeah, Zanpakuto Rebellion. Yeah, that's a recommended filler arc for me.
Yeah, that one was actually pretty good.
But yeah, this has been the tournament or bowl of tournaments episode. Is there anything that y'all wanted to make sure y'all wanted to put out before we wrap things up?
You appreciate tournament arcs when you've actually competed in tournaments as well.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I'll say
yeah.
that is definitely one thing. It's like obviously they have a lot of embellishing and dramatization, but you learn to appreciate it. It's like especially if you see that you get to watch your opponent before you go up against them, and you're like,
Mhm.
damn, I got that motherfucker. It's like, all right, well,
Mhm.
shit, let's get it going.
If you want to see like true in-depth feeling of what it's like for a lot of athletes, especially during high school, I don't know so much for college because it's a different level, but for athletes going into tournaments, Hayaku is one of the best at explaining emotion, not only during the tournament, but the practices that happen when you're inside, like those AAU travel tournaments where you can actually work with the different teams and stuff like that. And y'all actually go and practice outside the games. And it's not
Mhm.
just this, they're the enemy, they're the away team. Like Hayaku definitely shows you that how friendships are made from different teams.
Yeah.
I gotta watch that one still.
Yeah, bro,
Yeah.
it's that is a top tier anime. Like,
I watched
forget
like the first 10 episodes at Justin's house. I gotta finish the rest of it.
forget the story. Like, forget just the sport itself. The storyline is that good. How
It'd
about
be
you,
the
Shaq?
reason
You
why
got
there's
any?
people.
Hmm?
Oh no. Appreciate everybody for their support. We are putting out a lot more stuff. Appreciate everybody, all this love and support for a Twitter account. We are saying some outlandish stuff, some random stuff, but we appreciate you guys' feedback, the retweets and stuff like that. All of that help. Be sure to make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, whether you're watching us on Facebook, watching us on YouTube, or you're watching us on Twitch, or you're listening to us on all of our streaming platforms for audio listening. Make sure you also go to the link in our bio on any social media platform to get you Spicy Ramen Podcast paraphernalia. We do have tank tops. It's starting to get warmer out here, so make sure you get your tank tops for the summertime, or if you just need some in preparation for the winter, make sure you go get your hoodie, an awesome t-shirt. We have them in various colors and various textures. So if you want something that has a cotton polyester blend, you want a full polyester shirt, you want a full cotton one, we got it all for you. Brought to you by Teespring. Make sure you go check it out. Link is in the bio. Be on the lookout for discount codes as well.
All right, and again, thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. I know I'll do my repeating, but we appreciate you. We love you. We definitely join in on our IG conversations or our Twitch, Twitter, all the comment sections we are a part of. We definitely respond whenever we see them. And as always, keep it spicy. All right, peace.